What's up YouTube, Jerryland here with NOBA Tech, and as you can see, we have a ton of iPhone 7 and 7 Plus cases out here today. These are cases that I personally rotate through on a daily basis and that I highly recommend for you guys. So if you're looking for an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus case, you've come to the right video. So today I have my top 5 favorite iPhone 7 and 7 Plus cases that I personally use and rotate through. So let's go ahead and jump into the one that I use the very most. These guys are the ones that are on my phone most of the time. There's a bunch of different colors for you to choose from, such as gold, rose gold, black, smoked gray, and clear frost. I would say let's crack one open to take a look, but I've already got one on my phone. So this black one is the one that I use the most on my phone. As some of you know, I have the matte black iPhone 7 Plus. So this black one looks great on my phone. All the cutouts are actually perfect. I've gotten too many phone cases where the cutouts don't actually fit nicely or aren't centered with the buttons, which is pretty frustrating. This guy has very minimal logoing, which is what I love. At the very bottom in tiny letters, it says Qaddafi, which is the company that makes this case, and it's always color matched to the phone case, which is nice as well, so it doesn't stand out. So these cases are the second generation because they made some of these for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. The second generation of these cases are extremely grippy, which I love because we all know that the new iPhone 7s are pretty slippery, so this adds a little bit of texture for you when you're holding it. 3 reasons why this is my favorite case. These are super minimal and thin, which is nice, so it doesn't add very much bulk. It has 360 protection around the whole phone this way because it covers the speaker grill and the lightning port as well, whereas some phones just leave a big chunk right here like the Apple cases where it's open, so when you drop it, you could totally scratch or dent your phone there, so I love that extra protection. And last but not least, my favorite thing about these is that these are actually pretty cheap cases. So this is the Veil XT. It comes in all these different colors for you to choose from, and it retails for only 20 bucks. So next up, we have this guy, a clear case. To be honest, clear cases are some of my favorite cases, but I hate how fingerprinty or just in general dirty they can get. But this is a winner. This guy only costs around 10 or 11 bucks. I don't remember what it's called exactly, and it's from a random company. So I'll go ahead and link the product below so you guys can pick one up if you want to. But this guy's nice and cheap, even though it's kind of made out of a soft plastic material. It's got some rigidity to it, and what's cool about it is so far I found it to be very scratch resistant, very anti-fingerprint, which is nice, but also the best part, I've noticed no yellowing or discoloration of this case, which is what happens to almost every single clear case I've ever gotten. So this guy's one of my new favorites. It's got great cutouts for all your different ports, your cameras, everything. Your volume rocker and power button are actually covered on the case. This again has that 360 protection like the Veil XT, which is what I love. And one of the best things about it, if you take a closer look at it, we all know that the iPhone 7, the iPhone 6, those have rounded edges, but this guy kind of brings back what I loved about the iPhone 5 models, where it's a little bit more square, but still with rounded edges. So on the case, it feels like the edges are chamfered, which is awesome. So I have basically my favorite iPhone design, the iPhone 5, back now in the iPhone 7, but with all my iPhone 7 features. So this is my second favorite case that I have. It's nice and cheap, and it shows off your phone. Check out that matte black phone. You will collect a bit of dust in here that you can see, so every once in a while you definitely need to wipe it off or clean it off and take your phone out real quick, but that's not a big deal at all because unlike most cases that are nice and minimal, this is actually a pretty easy case for you to get your phone out of, and it doesn't add very much bulk at all to your phone. It actually has some extra protection around the corner, so when you drop it on a corner, it gives your phone a little bit extra shock absorption. And then at the bottom, just on some of the corners, there's a little bit of a raised edge. And this is actually so that your phone can sit flat on a table and not have any wobble because of the protruding camera. That is just great designing on these guys. And again, this is just some random company I found from Amazon. Very cheap case, but extremely great quality. Again, all these cases will be linked below if you want to pick them up for yourself. On to number 3. All right, so next up we have the sheath. So this is another case from Qaddafi, which if you haven't noticed already, I love their cases. This one is very similar to the Veil XT. Just think of it as like a more heavy duty version of that case. Still very minimal, a little bit more protection, a little bit thicker, but just as great a case. So here I have the blue and the black models, but there's also a gray as well as a red if you prefer those. And the cool thing about these, even though it adds a bit more protection and is a different case with very nice packaging surprisingly compared to the first one, this also retails for 20 bucks. So here it is. You can tell that the material is a little bit different. It's a bit more rigid. It's a little bit thicker, but still feels pretty minimal. Seems like a little design to go with the antenna bin. Again, very minimal logoing at the bottom, tiny font, great cutouts for all your ports, and again, 360 protection. Let's put my phone in. Look at how easy that was to install. Fits very nicely. I really like this blue color actually. I am officially getting an Apple Watch soon. Finally, Jerry. But I'm considering getting that blue magnetic leather loop, which I know will look great with this guy, so that'll be pretty cool. So again, almost the same as the Veil XT, so there's not that much to talk about, but this guy just has some grippiness to it, perfect cutouts. So the volume rocker and power button are now protected instead of on the Veil XT when it was showing, and that's about it. This guy, I would definitely feel more comfortable if I dropped my phone with this case than the Veil XT, so if you're looking for a little bit more protection, but still a bit of minimalism and looking for a cheap case, check out the sheath from Qaddafi. Moving along, people, we got number 4. This is the Nomad Case. If you haven't heard of Nomad, they're a pretty cool company. They make all different kinds of Apple accessories, and this is one of my favorite things that they have. So this is a brown leather case for the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus, depending on which phone you have. And my favorite part about this case is that it offers more of a 360 protection than the Apple leather case, which you all know by now is what I love. So at the bottom, it actually covers the speaker grills, unlike the Apple case, which just leaves a big chunk open. Another reason why I love this case compared to the Apple leather case is that in the middle, there's not that big Apple logo, even though it's Apple, whatever, but I kind of like this clean look. And if you don't already know, leather cases are all gonna be different. They're not all exactly the same because leather varies and leather does wear. So on this side over here, you can tell that this looks like a brand new case. But as you can see from over here, it can get discolored, it can gain a bunch of scratches or other marks on it, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I actually think that a worn down leather look is a great look. So here it is. Mine already has a little bit of wearing in the corner, but hey, I think it looks good. It looks nice and clean, like I said, very minimalistic, no Apple logoing, no other logoing. So Nomad actually puts the logo on the inside, which is very smart. I appreciate that. At the bottom, you'll see that it covers most of the bottom, but there's a slight gap right here for your lightning port. And I actually kind of appreciate this because this means that you don't have to use the native lightning cable because some of those third-party cables have a slightly chunkier part right here. And that means those cables will fit with your case on it. So that's pretty cool. But again, compared to the Apple leather case, at least you got protection here. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. Looks nice and classic. This case is definitely a lot thicker than the other 3 cases that I've shown so far, but looks pretty good. I like the black on the inside contrasted with this brown leather on the outside. I think it looks pretty classic and definitely very stylish. So if you're looking for a brown leather case, honestly, I've done my research. I'd choose this one. So this case is one of our more expensive ones, coming in at 40 bucks, but you're paying for that premium of that brown leather. So there you go. Our very last case, number 5, we have the Qaddafi Synthesis. So this guy adds quite a bit of protection for you guys, and it comes in 2 different types. So right here you see one with a clear back and it has a black bumper. You can also get one with a gray bumper, and the other one you'll see a back that matches the color of the bumper, and this one is like a dark smoky gray, so you have the dark smoky gray around the border. But it also comes in blue, there's a red one, and I believe there's a violet one as well. Ooh, so right off the bat, I'll tell you that this back cover is nice and hard. This is very protective. Around the side, it's more of a smooth, hard silicone rubber. So around the bumper, it feels more like the Qaddafi sheath case that we looked at. I believe that was number 3. Pretty cool design, I like this. This is definitely the most protective case that Qaddafi offers. Let's go ahead and drop my phone in and check it out. Ooh, that's a nice fit. Take a look at that. So putting my matte black iPhone in there, you can tell that that clear case now looks almost black all around, which I think is pretty cool. So the bumper feels actually a bit thicker than the one in the sheath, but I could be wrong, it's just my feeling. The back, like I said, very protective. Great cutouts. Your power button as well as your volume rocker are again covered this time. Again, at the bottom, there's that 360 protection that you guys know I love, and that is about it to the case. I think the biggest feature of this case is this hard back, so if you were to drop it like this, maybe it lands on a rock like that, your phone is protected, won't get dented, hopefully. And for this case, it looks like there's some extra edge protection, which is definitely very nice too. You got a little bit of raised edges, and that is to prevent wobbling, as well as protect your dual camera on your iPhone 7 Plus. And this case is slightly more expensive than the other Qaddafi cases that I've shown, but not by very much at all. This case retails for about 25 bucks. Again, all these cases will be linked below if you want to pick one up for yourself. And special surprise to all you awesome people that stuck around to the end of the video. So I'm going to give away a bunch of these cases that I've shown you guys today, and I'm going to be choosing random winners from the comment section down below. All you gotta do is make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and drop a comment below. Let me know what phone you're using right now, what case you're using right now, and out of these 5 cases that I've shown you guys, which one is your personal favorite. If I were you, I would definitely go follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter for sure, because I will be announcing the winners on Twitter. I'm gonna try to give away as many of these cases as I can, so I'll choose as many people as I can, so make sure you follow me on Twitter. Again, this is just a special surprise for all you dedicated viewers and watchers out there, all you dedicated subscribers of the channel. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end of my videos, and I think from now on, I'm gonna try to do some special surprises at the end of some of my videos, so make sure you guys stick around till the very end. These are my top 5 favorite iPhone 7 and 7 Plus cases that I actually personally use. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. My name's Jerry Lane with NOBA Tech, and to the next one and beyond.